Hello friends, I hope you all are doing wonderful. I, CA Pujan Kapadia, welcome you all on my today's lecture on the subject financial management. Friends, first of all, I hope you all are safe at your own place. As you all are well aware that we have started with the topic of introduction of financial management, that is unit 1 of your syllabus. Till now, we had covered several topics like what is the meaning and definition of financial management. The important point under which we have studied, it is basically nothing. It is just the management of financial activities. That is, पैसा आएगा कहाँ से और पैसे को use कहाँ पे करना है. That is acquiring the fund and utilization of funds. Second, we have studied is what is the nature of financial management. What all are the characteristics of financial management? Like it is a continuous activity. It is an universal process. It is a core integral part which is related to all the disciplines. Fine. So that what we have studied under the nature of financial management. After which we have studied the topic finance and related disciplines, under which we have set a relation between the studies of financial management along with the various concepts of different subjects, like how it is linked with economics, microeconomic factors and macroeconomic factors, how it is related to the various branches of management, how it is related with accountants, and how it is management with mathematics. Then after, we had taken a topic of scope of financial management, under which I have broadly explained you three important functions. That is financial function, that is acquisition of funds. Second is utilization of funds, that is investment function. And third was dividend function, that is to decide and to manage your earnings, that is how much to retain and how much to distribute to the shareholders. In the last lecture, friends, we have covered the topic of goals of financial management, under which I will just let you know that the basic goals of financial management are broadly classified into two types. One was profit maximization and another was wealth maximization. Certain other objectives of the goals of financial management include: we should ensure fair return to the shareholders, we should ensure proper adequate reserves for further growth and development, then we should focus on the operational efficiency, and last was ensuring financial discipline. Then after, I started with the topics of what is profit maximization, why it is important, what are the points which are in favor of profit maximization, and what are the points which are against the profit maximization concept. Under this particular topic, I have laid stress on two important points. That profit maximization concept is not covering or ignoring time value of money, by which I have explained you in detail. आज का एक रुपया कल के एक रुपया के बराबर नहीं होता है, which basically says the purchasing power of your money, the purchasing power of your currency is going to gradually decrease. So I cannot say that if I'm going to earn 100 rupees after an year, it is equivalent to present 100 rupees. Answer is no. I need to discount that particular amount with the present value factor, under which I have explained you. What I'm going to do is I'm going to consider an appropriate rate of inflation with which I'm going to discount my cash flows. So basically this was the concept of time value of money, which again we are going to deal in detail with practical examples in the later part of this unit. Second most important point was it ignores future risk. That is, whatsoever in coming in future, I am not planning and forecasting about the same. What I'm concerned with the type of earning profit is the present. As a result of which, these two limitations basically led to the new concept, which is much more relevant in today's era, is wealth maximization concept. First of all, what I have told you is what is wealth? It is assets employed for generation of further wealth. So my so my major focus is to increase the amount of wealth, total valuation of my business. How can I increase it? With the concept of NPV, that is net present value. I have stated here the formula for the same. It is present value of cash inflows minus present value of cash outflows. So here what I'm doing is I am converting all my expected cash flows into their present values. As a result of which I am giving due consideration to the concept of time value of money. Second is what is wealth basically? That is number of outstanding shares multiplied by market price per share. In short, wealth maximization concept basically focuses on increasing the wealth of the shareholders, increasing the earnings of all the stakeholders, and to protect the interest of all the stakeholders of this society. Then we have studied the point of how it is advantageous, that is the merits or the points which are in favor of wealth maximization, and what are the points against the concept of wealth maximization. There is a slide of difference, which is nothing. It is just a proper formalized way to write down the points which are related to both the concepts but are in the form of differences. We have covered till here, friends. I hope you all are very clear with all the topics that we have covered till date. I will just request you to take a quick look on this particular slide so that you can be much more clear about the concept of profit maximization and wealth maximization. Well, friends, I hope you have gone through quickly. All the points are the repetition of what we have already covered in the short notes of profit maximization and wealth maximization. So, friends, let's start. Well, let's start with the fresh topic for today. The name of the topic is evolution of financial management. The concept or the term financial management that we are studying at present was not in the same format before 100 years or before a century. It has been evolved. It has passed through various phases in order to come to what we are getting at present. As a result of which, it becomes inevitable for us to understand the concept of evolution of financial management, how this concept has been evolved, how it has come into force. So broadly, we have considered three different approaches, or I can say there are three different phases under which the entire evolution process has been explained. The first phase is known as traditional approach. Second is known as transitional approach. And the third is known as modern approach. So there are three phases basically: traditional, transitional, and modern. So let's start with the first one. First phase is named as traditional approach. It lasted up to the fourth decade of 20th century. So I can say it started in the year 1900 and it continued up to the 1940. So basically there were 4 decades under which this traditional approach was basically followed. So what was the longevity of this traditional approach? 40 years approximately. Fine. So first point is it lasted up to fourth decade of 20th century. Second is under traditional approach, the major focus was only on one thing. Remember, friends, it was only on one thing. It was raising of funds. That is, paisa aayega kahan se. As a financial manager, I was not at all concerned with how I'm going to use this fund, how I'm going to manage my earnings. No, I was just concerned with only one question: raising of funds. That is, how much amount should I get or should I require in order to fund my project? What should be the cost of capital of that particular thing? What is the ideal source? That is, खुद का पैसा लगाऊं या बाहर से पैसे borrow करूं? In short, I was only concerned as a financial manager on the question of raising of funds. So you can see, friends, it was a limited concept. So basically, traditional approach was focusing only on one thing, that was raising of funds. Third point was financial management mainly functions for episodic events. Here, what they want to say is financial management was not a continuous process. We have studied in the nature that it is a continuous process. But in the traditional approach, financial management was not a continuous process. It was based on episodic events. Now let's understand what is episodic events. Episodic events basically include incorporation of a company, expansion of a company, merger of a company, etc. So what they want to say basically, when a new company is supposed to be incorporated, at that time, the need of financial management was filled in order to plan raising of funds. Once the company was incorporated, once the fund was received, there was no need of financial management as per this particular approach. So I hope you are getting me. What I'm trying to say is this was incident based activity. So financial management wasn't needed in each and every time. It was just needed whenever certain activities are taking place, like incorporation of a company, expansion of a company, merger or amalgamation. That is when two companies merge and form a one company. It is known as merger. So if there are certain events, then and then only there was a need of financial management. Otherwise, it was not at all required. This is what traditional approach was all about. Last part I have written over here is utilization of funds were taken care of by board of directors, that is BOD. So it was outside the purview of financial management. The definition that we have studied in the modern era includes three things, as you all know: financing, that is raising of funds; second is investing, that is utilization of funds; and third is management of earning. But in this particular case, utilization of fund, that is पैसा invest कहाँ पे करना है, was being taken care of by board of directors. So it was outside the purview of the study of financial management. I hope you have got me correctly in this particular slide. Just giving you a moment, take a quick view on this particular slide. Well, friends, just take a quick note that I am highlighting the words so that you can memorize the same, because they can be considered as the main point of your answer. So it is necessary or mandatory to remember and write these words in your examination. So about traditional approach, we have studied. It lasted for 40 years basically, that is up to the fourth decade of 20th century. Only focus was on raising of funds, paisa aayega kahan se. No other concern was being taken care of. It was basically incident based event, that is episodic events only. It was not a regular integral function of the business. And last is utilization of funds was outside the purview of financial management. It was being taken care of by board of directors itself. So now let's study what were the criticisms or what were the limitations of traditional approach, as a result of which we need to evolve further. कोई भी बंदा आगे कब बढ़ेगा, when he finds that the existing system is at flaw, there are certain limitations, then and then only I am going to evolve, I am going to find certain new things, as a result of which we need to study what were the criticisms of the traditional approach. The first point is it is narrowly defined concept. As you all are well aware, it is focusing only on one thing, that is paisa aayega kahan se. It is not talking about any other thing, that is how I'm going to utilize these funds, how I'm going to manage my earnings. Nothing is being mentioned in this concept, as a result of which it is a narrowly defined concept. Second, as we have already discussed, it excludes utilization of funds. Whenever we are talking about finance, it includes each and everything which is related to funds, which is related to financing activities. But in this particular point, they are just focusing on raising of funds. They are not talking about utilization of funds, as a result of which this concept is kept out of the purview of financial management. Third is it is an incident based approach, that is it is based on only episodic events. Whenever there something happens like incorporation comes up, amalgamation or merger comes up, expansion plan comes up, then and only then financial manager was being resorted to plan how to raise funds. Otherwise it was not a part of our regular business activity, hence it was just an episodic part. Fourth point is descriptive approach. Sources of funds were selected based on the descriptions which were available rather than being analytical. As of now, if I want to choose that which bank should I go in order to borrow funds from, then I'm going to do certain calculations. I'm going to do analysis, certain ratios, fine. Then I'm going to make that particular decision. But in the previous era, that is at the time of traditional approach, people were not using analytical tools. They were just going through the description of different borrowers, going through their profiles and selecting the appropriate borrower. In short, trend analysis, ratio analysis, using of analytical tools were outside the purview of this particular approach. Hence, this approach was known as just a descriptive approach. There was no analytical work involved at the time of selection of funds. Next point is it is confined to long-term funds only. That is, it is ignoring day-to-day or routine needs. Day-to-day, I need raw material. Day-to-day, I need to pay wages to my workers. This approach is totally ignoring this particular point. It is just focusing on कि जब भी कोई episodic event आएगा, how am I going to manage my funds? That's it. I am not focusing on my day-to-day financial needs. So again, it is confined. It is limited to only long-term funds. Next point is focus is only on the companies. They have kept in center only the corporate structure or the company form of organization. They have ignored all the other forms. Like if I'm talking about an individual business, sole proprietorship, it is out of the purview. If I'm talking about partnership, it is not being considered or talked about. Traditional approach basically focuses only keeping in mind the format of company. As a result of which, it cannot be said to be universal because it cannot be implemented in each and every form of business. It is only limited to company form of business. And last point is, it is outsider looking approach. Basically, I was focusing only on raising of funds, correct? So what I would be interested in to attract the investors. So basically, I am just making my financial estimates. I am just managing my funds, and I am keeping my books of accounts in such a manner so that I can attract the investors. I am not focusing or taking care of the internal workings of my company. So basically, I can say financial management is basically outsider looking approach under the traditional viewpoint. I hope I'm clear with all the limitations I've mentioned over here. I would just like to request you to quickly go through all the points that are mentioned over here. Well, friends, I hope you are clear with the points that I have mentioned over here. Let's move ahead to the next approach. That is your transitional approach. First was traditional, started in 1900, lasted up to fourth decade, that is up 40 years. Next is transitional approach. It began around early 40s and continued up to mid 50s. So the period is basically in 40s and mid 50s. What was the major focus over here? In the last approach we have studied, major focus was only on one thing, that is raising of funds. In this particular approach, my major focus is on raising of funds only. But what is the addition over here? I am also considering my day-to-day problems like payment for raw material, payment for wages are also being duly taken care of in this particular approach. So you can see, friends, there is a step ahead. We have moved, we have evolved a step ahead compared to traditional approach. In that approach, we were focusing only on raising of funds. We were ignoring day-to-day problems. In this particular approach, still we are focusing on one thing, that paisa aayega kahan se. But I am also thinking not only for long term but also for a short term. That is my day-to-day problems. What are the basic activities over here? Fund analysis, that is पैसा जो भी मैं borrow करने वाला हूँ, what so are the sources and I am going to analyze the same. Financial planning, that is how much capital I require, what should be the optimum capital structure, what should be the sources of capital, what should be the cost of capital, etc. And control. Fine. So basically the activities over here is fund analysis, financial planning, and financial control. Next point written over here is day-to-day problems of financial manager were solved using managerial techniques like planning and controlling. As you have added one point, day-to-day problems. So the basically financial manager day-to-day problems were also being solved. How they were solved? By using the normal fundamental managerial technique like planning and controlling. In short, friends, you need to remember two important points in this particular slide. First is the phase, that is, it started from early 40s and lasted up to mid 50s. And second is there were two major activities which are being taken care of in this particular phase. It was raising of funds and taking care of day-to-day problems of financial managers. So yes, we have definitely moved a step ahead. We have evolved a bit, like we are now focusing on short-term fund requirements also. Still, our requirement is limited to only first phase, that is on financing activities. पैसा आएगा कहाँ से? Up till now, I have not studied or taken care of, like where I am going to invest, how I am going to utilize my funds. No, it is out of the purview still. But yes, I have considered short-term approach too in this particular approach. I hope you are clear with the transitional approach. Let's move ahead to the last approach. The approach read as modern approach. It has begun around mid 50s and it is continuing even today. So you can see the longevity, the fame of this particular approach. This approach is said to be so holistic, so perfect that it is being implemented since mid 50s and it is still applicable today also. So again, you need to remember the first approach was traditional approach, was applicable for 40 years. It ended in the fourth decade of 20th century. Then in early 40s started the transitional approach, which lasted up to mid 50s. And the modern approach started in mid 50s and it is continuing even today. Second point, the most important one that we all know, it considers all the forms of business. What was there in traditional approach? It was focusing only on company format. It was ignoring proprietorship. It was ignoring partnership. But here, all the forms of business are being duly taken care of. Either it may be corporate or it may be non-corporate. As a result of which I can say it is a universal concept. Why? Because wheresoever, under which form I want to implement financial management, I can easily do so. So it is present at all the forms of business organization. Third point is, what is my major focus? Under the traditional approach, major focus was only on raising the funds. Under transitional approach, major focus was on two things. First was raising of funds and second is day-to-day problems. Here, the major focus is on all the three things. That is raising of funds, utilization of funds and management of earnings. That is my financing decision, investment decision and dividend decision. I hope you all are now very well aware till now, like what is included in raising, that is financing decision, what is included in utilization, that is investment decision, what is included in management of earnings, that is kitna retain karo or kitna dividend pay karo. That is my liquidity decision or dividend decision. In short, friends, whenever I'm talking about modern approach, I'm covering each and every aspect which is related to funds. That is from starting, पैसा आएगा कहाँ से, second is पैसा use कहाँ पे करूँगा, and third is एक बार मैंने earning कर लिया, how much I'm going to save and how much I'm going to distribute among my shareholders. Now, if this question is being asked to you in the examination, please take a deep note over here. If this question is asked to you in your examination, I have written one point in smaller fonts. Explain the points from the topic of scope of financial management. We have taken a short note, heading of which was scope of financial management, under which I have made you explain three different functions in detail. Like when it comes to raising of funds, what all are the activities are included over there, like thinking about cost of capital, thinking about the capital structure, etc. When I'm talking about utilization of funds, what is included, like long-term decisions, short-term decisions of working capital, etc. And last is management of earning. We take care about the interest, we take care about the taxes, etc. In short, what you guys need to remember is, if this question is asked as a long question, you need to take certain points from the answer of scope of financial management and you need to explain under each of the head of this three points. It is raising of funds, and you will write the 4-5 points which I mentioned over there. Utilization of funds, again 4-5 points from that answer. Last is management of earnings, again 4-5 points from that answer. In short, I have not done repetition over here because we have already covered the same under the topic of scope of financial management. But if the question is asked as a long question in your examination, take due care that you don't forget to take points from that particular answer. I hope I'm clear till here. Fine. Okay. Next point is, this is not an incident based approach. What we have studied over there in traditional approach, that agar koi event aati hai, episodic events, fine, like merger, amalgamation, incorporation, expansion, then and only then I am talking about financial management. Otherwise, there is no mention of financial management. But when we are talking about modern approach, financial management is not incident based. It is integral part of day-to-day business management. It means in anything I do, I need to inculcate financial management, or I can put it in other words like financial management is present in each and every business activity that I am performing on a day-to-day basis. In short, under modern approach, the concept of financial management is the integral part. Last is what all are the techniques that we use under modern approach. There are n number of techniques, but I have mentioned few that so that you can write in your examination. It is cost benefit analysis. For example, if I am investing in any project, I need to understand what is the total cost I need to pay and what is the benefit returns I am going to get. So what I am going to do is I am going to do this analysis. Second is optimization of capital structure. कितना डेप्ट होना चाहिए, कितना इक्विटी होना चाहिए. Fine, I need to select a proper mix of debt and equity so that my cost of capital is minimum. Same for working capital. I should have adequate amount of working capital, not more, not less. Again, how to determine the same is again a part of this topic. Fund flow analysis, that is how much amount of fund is being moving during the entire year. Kitna aa raha hai, kitna ja raha hai. We need to consider about this same. And last is rate of return on investment. At the time of selecting between or choosing between several projects is, if I want to select only one, then I need to understand what is the rate of return that I'm going to earn on my investment. The best one is going to be the selection for utilization of funds. In short, all these are the techniques of which are used under the modern approach. I would just like to request you all to take a quick overview on the points which are written over here. Well, friends, I hope you are clear by now how the concept of financial management has evolved from traditional to transitional to modern approach. Now, being the last part of today's lecture, what I have done is I have just jotted down the points which we have already covered in our short notes or the long question just we have discussed as of now. But if it is asked in the form of difference, or in order to increase the length of your answer, you can add on this particular point of difference in your answer so that it will add to the presentation of your answer and of course to the length of your answer. So let's discuss quickly what is the difference between traditional approach and modern approach. Traditional approach is narrowly defined concept because it is focusing only on one thing, that is raising of funds. Modern approach is a broader concept because it is covering all the three aspects, that is raising of funds, utilization of funds and management of earnings. Second is traditional approach is focusing only on long-term funds. I'm just thinking about my long-term capital requirement. While modern approach is focusing on both the things, long-term as well as short-term, that is my day-to-day requirements. Third is it was incident-based approach. That is, agar incorporation, amalgamation, something events comes up, then and then only I'm going to talk about financial management. While in modern approach, it is an integral part of day-to-day business management. Third is next is it is focusing on corporate form. That is, it is only focusing on the company structure. It is not focusing on any other form of business. But in the modern approach, it is covering each and everything, whether it is corporate, that is company, or a non-corporate. So it is inculcating all the different forms of business. May it be sole proprietorship, may it be partnership, any business. It is a descriptive approach. As I told you, there were no tools and techniques which were being used to analyze. It was just the description of the sources of fund. On the basis of it, decisions of raising funds were taken. But in the modern approach, we calculate various things. We find out ratios. We set the trend in order to decide which is the right source to go for. So it is an analytical approach. And lastly, it is an outsider looking approach because it is focusing only on the investors. How should I attract my investors? But modern approach considers the interest of all the stakeholders. That is, it is taking care of outsiders as well as insiders, that is company as a whole. Friends, I hope you are clear with all the things that I have explained today. So with this, I, CA Pujan Kapadia, thank you all for your patient listening and hope to see you soon in my next lecture. Thank you, friends.